And good evening and welcome to Fred Moore Pool. We have a swim meet tonight, the Anoka Tornadoes and the Blaine Bengals. I'm Steve Thompson along with Scott Berklet. And Scott, good to see you. It's been a long time. Both our kids swam club together many, many years ago. Scott, of course, a longtime teacher and coach in the district, Nordic skiing and swimming. Scott, here we are, Fred Moore Pool. This is always a lot of fun.
I had 3 kids who went through the program. I thought it better to be a dad instead of be a coach. And I guess I started coaching here in 1986 through 90, took 3 years off, went off to the University of Minnesota, coached there, and then came back coaching here. And it's kind of beautiful to be here. And here we are already getting ready for the JV medley relays, getting ready to get up on the blocks.
And we have a full pool for the first event of the night. And if you're not familiar, 200 medley relay, JV then varsity, 200 free, 200 IM, 50 free, and then we'll get into the diving competition here tonight at Fred Moore Pool, and a nice crowd on hand. And we just had true team sections, and we'll get into that and get Scott's thoughts on that. And as you might expect, alternate lanes, Anoka in lane 1, Blaine lane 2, Anoka lane 3, Blaine in lane 4, then the Tornadoes, Bengals, Tornadoes. So a full slate for this 200-yard medley relay.
Medley relay is going to be 50 yards of each one of the strokes. We start out backstroke, back breast, butterfly, free in that order. This is the JV heat, and it's pretty cool. We have all 8 lanes. The number of young women who are coming out for this sport has just continued to increase, and you're seeing it here. And sometimes we have first-year swimmers, and sometimes we have 4th year and 8th year swimmers, and here we go. It's pretty amazing to have this many people going on at this event. I love it.
We're in the breaststroke right now, halfway through lane 4. Layla Reismus, Ella Thompson, Callie Sorensen, and Molly Poster are your leaders for Blaine in this JV 200-yard IM, and they have a comfortable lead right now. And in lane 5, the Tornadoes, Izzy Renwelski, Heidi James, Ellen Lindberg, and Amelia Kowacki. So lanes 4 and 5, as expected, running 1-2 right now. And Blaine has a sizable lead. They're in the butterfly halfway through as they make the turn. 25 to go here at Fred Moore.
Callie Sorensen is an 11th grader with Blaine, and she's doing the fly right now. Nice alternate breathing, strong legs, and coming up to the anchor leg, we're going to have Molly Foster, an 11th grader.
And one of the keys in the relay is whether you watch the Olympic Games or a high school meet, don't go early, because once again, the meet officials are watching for that. And once again, Molly Poster, the junior for Blaine, trying to bring it home. Under 25 to go, and she has a sizable lead. Anoka trying to hang on to second in lane 4. And Blaine's going to bring it home in lane 4 in 2:27.48. And it looks like Blaine will take second in lane 6, 2:38.26. And the Tornadoes are going to come in third in lane 5 at 2:46.70. You see the times on the board there. And once again, for some of the newer swimmers, great experience. Nothing like meet experience, Scott.
You know, we're 10 days away from the JV conference meet. which is going to be at Northdale, I believe. And that is, so for many girls, in fact, it is at Anoka, it is senior night tonight. So we'll be honoring our seniors at the very end of the meet. And these are an awful lot of the girls who are going to be swimming at that JV conference meet, potentially making that section team. That's kind of interesting. That's already going to be beginning on the 8th of November. 7th through the 9th of November, we already have sections that are coming up.
All right, getting ready for the varsity 200-yard IM. Top seed time, Anoka, 1:59.23. They'll be in lane 5. Sydney DeYoung, Emily Nisus, Sarah Wong, and Sarah Jensen. Blaine in lane 4. 2 minutes, 0.14. Gabby Bush, Sydney Edwards, Sydney Hernandez, and Reese Forrest ready to go in this varsity 200-yard medley relay.
On Saturday, Blaine, with these same 4 girls, did beat Anoka at that, well, it was the state true team on Saturday. Section true team for qualifying for the state true team meet, which is coming up this weekend. And so this is going to be, I think, a very big race. I do think that Blaine's going to have an advantage here on this one. I know the seed time's looking this way, but I'm going to think that Blaine is going to do well here.
It'd make it easier for us if Blaine was all wearing the white blue caps. They are not, but lane 4 and 5, once again, Blaine in 4, the early lead. Layla Reitensmith, or excuse me, Gabby Bush starting out in the backstroke, and Sydney DeYoung right on her heels. First 50 backstroke. They are very close, Scott.
Both these two have got very strong backstrokes. The 30.13 is a nice split, and that was for Gabby. Here we come with Emma Nisus, who doing breaststroke for Anoka in lane 5, and Sydney Edwards in lane 4 doing breaststroke. Great breakout strokes. That first stroke up, transition from underwater to being on top is a really big deal.
Blaine a body length lead as we go to the butterfly third leg. Blaine the lead, and Anoka right on their heels in lanes 4 and 5. Sydney Hernandez for Blaine, Sarah Wong for the Tornadoes. And still a little over a body length lead as Hernandez, a 9th grader, extends her lead. 50 yards of freestyle. Blaine the lead. Tornadoes running second.
Sydney, that was a gorgeous fly. 29-2-1 split for her.
Reese Forrest trying to bring it home for the Bengals. Sarah Jensen on her heels. And Forrest gonna bring it home. Blaine, 158.05. Tornadoes come in second, 203.56. The Bengals a really good swim.
And getting first and third is a really big deal in the relays. That is 8 points for Blaine for the team score. So first place in a relay gets 6 points. Second place in a relay gets 4, and third place gets 2. And so when you start thinking about team scores, getting first and third is an 8-point for Blaine and 4 points for Anoka. And it's always an interesting thing when you're trying to make the decision as a coach as to what are you going to do with your relay to potentially, with your swimmers, to try to get second and third, if you know that you in fact are going to lose or potentially get beat in that relay.
JV 200-yard free coming up. Top seed time in this event. Grace Lushine from Blaine, 2:24.82. Lane 5, Anoka. It's Hanson, 9th grader, 2:28.18. Eight lengths, 4 laps, 200 yards here in this JV freestyle. This is a grueling event. I mean, it's
what's difficult about the 200 free is that you're dealing in a time zone of 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes and change, and we're going to see some 2-minute swims for the for varsity, and very, very close to 2 minutes. So what ends up happening is that you cannot just outright sprint this. As they get rested, it's an amazing event because as the season goes on, times stay pretty constant in the 200 free. But as they get rested coming into their taper meets, and I was talking about the JV conference meet and sections, and then state is the week after that, the times can drop substantially. So all of a sudden, this burdensome, long 2.5 minute race can get much, much faster. Right now, we're looking over in lane 2.
Eden Moy.
Thank you.
Yeah, Eden Moy, a good swim right now, and then Anoka in lane 5, second place. That's Liz Hanson, a 9th grader, and she had the second fastest seed time in the pool. And really a good swim for Eden Moy. She led out of the gate with 25 to go after the turn. She jumped out early, Scott.
She did.
Has had this lead all the way.
And this stroke is still very strong. Her stroke is staying together. You see a big 6-speed kick. She's still continuing her alternate breathing. That is an impressive swim.
2:22.31 for Eden Moy for the Tornadoes in lane 5. Liz Hanson, she'll come in at 2:30.07. And third to Karina Patterson from Anoka, and she comes in at 2:31.65. But Eden Moy dominated in that JV 200-yard free, Scott.
Really a beautiful swim. This is, like I said, I believe this is potentially their last meet before their taper. And so sometimes they're mixing things up, but we also have 2 schools in the same district, and these guys are both wanting to win this meet. Both teams want to win this meet.
And by the way, Moy beat her seed time by over 4 seconds, so very impressive. Now, the varsity 200-yard free. And we're underway in lane 5 for Anoka. Top seed time, Nora Sloth, the senior, 2:05.35. And right next to her, Reese Penoyer, 2:10. Abby Johnson for the Tornadoes, 2:07.08. Tornadoes have some strength in this 200-yard free. But the Bengals off to the early lead. First 50 in lane 6. Reese Penoyer, her seed time 2:10, and she has the early lead. But right on her heels, Nora Sloth in 5. Right on her hip.
Very long and controlled stroke. We're going to watch this turnover. The number of strokes per length is going to be increasing as they come along. We're at the 75. The acceleration into the flip here at the 100. And let's kind of watch Nora Sloth in lane 5 for Anoka. She's kind of picked this up.
Looks like she'll have the lead with 100 to go. Penoyer right there as well.
Yep.
And then in lane 7, Abby Johnson for Anoka right there as well. So the Tornadoes 2 of the top 3.
Now, Nora in 5 and Abby in 7 both did very, very well and placed high at the meet last weekend, and we're looking for Abby to come up here and
Slot,
give
50 to go.
There we go.
Tornadoes 1-2.
Yep.
And this would be a big spot in the meet for the Tornadoes to go 1-2 here in the 200.
Reese is not giving up whatsoever.
Pennoyer made the turn for Blaine in second. Sloth in front. She's going to win it. Pennoyer for Blaine in second. Johnson for Anoka on her heels. It'll be Tornadoes 1-3. And Reese Pennoyer rallied for second for the Bengals.
And I'm going to tell you right now, over in lane 2, Marissa Vang just got the 5th place, the 1 point beating Emma Schmitz. And that 5th place is what can potentially make the difference in a team score. And so I know we concentrate sometimes on what's happening in the front of the race, but who's going to take 5th and 6th is often, especially in a tight meet like this, what is going to make the difference.
Coming up, JV 200-yard IM individual medley, challenging swim, all 4 strokes. Different than the medley relay, they start butterfly.
So the sheer reason for that, of course, is just the backstroke start versus diving in and rolling over onto your back on that medley relay. The individual medley, butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle. 2 lengths of each stroke.
Blaine the early lead in lane 4. And that is Caitlin Marks, 7th grader from Blaine, 2:48.24 seed time. And she already has a big lead as they switch to the backstroke. Blaine Bengals swimmer in 8, Ava Nelson, an 8th grader, in 2nd place. Tornadoes in lane 5 look to be in 3rd. And that's Heidi James, an 8th grader for the Tornadoes. Once again, a very impressive start to this swim for Caitlin Marks for the Bengals.
Very controlled backstroke. Hips are high in the water. Sometimes what ends up happening is that the hips can get really low. Her head is back. A nice back to breaststroke turn.
Some breaststroke swimmers go much further down the pool in the water. Is there a preference, or is it an individual thing?
Is this the breaststroke for the underwater?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 things happening. We're already in need of oxygen. Underwater and streamline is very quick. And so the goal would be to be as underwater and streamline as possible coming off the wall. You cannot swim as fast as you can push off the wall or come off the blocks. The problem is I'm running out of air.
50 to go for Marks, dominant swim.
And so it's like I got to get up, I got to get air, and I still have 100 yards to go. And so the decision is made from the athlete and the coach. Am I going to come up quickly and get air, or am I going to stay down and be streamlined? You will see in the varsity that the girls will stay under much longer in the varsity event.
Caitlin Marks running away with it in lane 4. She opened with a big lead right out of the gate, and running in 2nd for the Bengals, Ava Nelson in this JV 200-yard IM, 2:47.01. And once again in lane 8, Ava Nelson for Blaine, and it looks like the Tornadoes are going to get 3rd here. That'll be Heidi James, the 8th grader for the Tornadoes, in lane 5.
Caitlin Marks made a pretty big statement there. I think that is a personal best for her for the season. And, yep, I'm in 7th grade, and, yep, I want to be swimming varsity. And a very, very good swim for her.
Yeah, beat her seed time by almost a 1.5 seconds. And that's a nice jump.
That's nice coming into next week.
200-yard varsity individual medley coming up. Gabby Bush from Blaine, big favorite in lane 4.
Gabby was second last week at the on Saturday at the True Team. Sarah Wong, who is in lane 7, was 7th at the meet on Saturday, and she's pretty strong in the back half of her race.
Top seed time, Gabby Bush, Blaine, the senior, 2:22.81. She has the early lead, but over there in lane 2, Sydney Hernandez, her 9th grade teammate, right on her hip.
This is what's fun about this event, is that you can imagine that with 4 strokes, that there is a specialty for some. And if I'm a strong flyer, but my breaststroke might be weak, you can watch this change very quickly going back and forth. I'm watching Gabby, a nice controlled fly and a very strong backstroke. Blaine continues to pump out some very strong backstrokers. Let's watch her underwater. Staying down, underwater pull, coming up, breaking water, and off she goes.
And in lane 5 for Anoka, Sarah Jensen, a strong second, but right on her hip, Madeline Scott in lane 6 for Blaine.
Yeah.
So a good battle, 1, 2, 3. And it's IM. But it was Gabby Bush right out of the gate, grabbing control of this race. Steve Thompson, Scott Berkland, here on QCTV. And hanging in there for Anoka, Sarah Jensen.
Nice breaststroke.
Bush into the freestyle, extends her lead.
Gabby has got this race in control. It is an interesting situation. In a dual meet like this, there's a potential of going, well, great, I'm going to shut this down. I have 3 more events tonight, and I have no reason to continue to pound. I'm not saying that's what's happening. It is a decision.
And Bush to the wall, 2:24.91. So off her top time, a 2:22.81. Second will go to the Tornadoes. Good swim, Sarah Jensen. She grabbed second and held on to it.
Second and fourth. And that's a nice position for Anoka there.
Third was Madeline Scott for Blaine. Sarah Wong from Anoka took 4th in that one. And we're moving right along. We'll have a chance for the people back in the studio to take a break, but they're keeping this moving really quickly here tonight. So once again, 200-yard IM, Gabby Bush gets the victory, but second, Sarah Jensen. Tornadoes go 2 and 4, as Scott mentioned. And now event 7, speaking of moving quickly.
So that's a 10 points for Blaine, the team-wise, and 6 points for Anoka team-wise for that event.
And after all the years of coaching, Scott, you probably were able to keep track of this in your head pretty effectively. You knew exactly where you were coming down to the end of the meet.
How many points up, how many points down. Yeah. We now have 4 heats of the JV 50 freestyle. These are all Anoka swimmers in this first heat.
And it's great to see. It's great to see the numbers and the kids coming out and getting some meet action like this. Top seed time, Madeline Larson, 7th grader from Anoka, 39-72. And it looks like lane 3 of the lead. Juliet Joyce, a 9th grader, made the turn first. Over in lane 1, B. Wong has a chance. But it looks like lane 3 for the Tornadoes is going to get it done. Juliet Joyce will get to the wall first. Nice swim for her. 39-15.
That's a 1.3 second drop. Fantastic.
You got to love that.
I do. This makes me smile so much. A lot of these girls, in fact, it's interesting. My wife is teaching at here at Fred Moore, and she's talked about a number of her students who have come out for swimming, and they're excited and they're having a great time, and they're watching their times drop, and they got big smiles on their faces, and that's the best.
Now it's all Blaine here in Heat 2 of this JV 50-yard free.
Somebody has lost their goggles in the middle of the pool, and those have just been retrieved. Now this heat is all Blaine, and so this is decided upon by the coaching staff. We want to get our newer athletes opportunities, and this is a great place to do that. Fantastic.
And we are underway, and the top seed time here. Kara Yang, 8th grader from Blaine. Once again, all Blaine Bengals swimming in this second heat of this JV 50-yard free here at Fred Moore. Thanks so much for joining us here on QCTV. And once again, club youth swimming as well, improving on the time, setting those goals, working hard, beating those times. And we got someone here in lane 7, Brittany Cruz, an 11th grader, a nice swim, 31.98. First to the wall. Congrats to her.
A great time. 10th off of her best. For many, this is going to be now their first time where they are going to experience basically being beat up all season long, and now they're going to experience what happens when you rest. We'll talk a little bit about that, maybe a little bit during diving, but
the taper and
it's such a unique and it's such a mind game.
Heat 3. Four swimmers from Blaine, 4 from Anoka. Top seed time in the pool. Ray Pamanen, a junior from Blaine, 33-36 in lane 4. Emma Daniels from Anoka, 34-62. She is a sophomore, and we got a good battle up front in lanes 4 and 5. Blaine and Anoka here in this JV third heat. And it looks like Tamanen will get to the wall. Then Daniels, 33-42.
That's a personal best for Emma from Anoka in lane 5. 34-19. And Ray with her 33-42. Great swims.
A good competitive third heat. Now the fourth heat of the JV 50 free. It's a great old pool.
I love this pool.
Yeah, it's a great building. Blaine's Ella Thompson, 30-36. Chelsea Collins for Anoka, 29-65. And Nova Ballin from Anoka senior at 30-44. This should be very competitive in the middle of the pool.
A great wall for Kelsey. The hardest thing about this 50 free is that it's a start and a turn. If you get a good turn, head down, drive to the wall.
Has it. 29.98 for Chelsea Collins. Just off her best time.
Second place was Josie Beru from Anoka, 11th grader, and a 30.42 for her. All right, this is what we have been waiting for. Great swims from all of the JV and our varsity athletes.
Allie Deal, 24-31 in lane 5 for Anoka. And they're underway. Deal in 5. Reese Forrest for Blaine. Top seed time 25.82 and 4. And a great start, Scott, for Deal.
Head up. High in the water.
Deal's going to get it done. Question is, what's the time? Deal wins it 24-74. Forrest was second, 26.07.
So Anoka was first, third, and fifth.
But Deal,
yeah, that was
just
a nice
terrific,
yeah.
Terrific start. And turn and Deal powers her way.
Great.
And now we got diving coming up. First events of the meet. And we're going to start with JV diving when we come back. We're going to take a break. Steve Thompson and Scott Berkland, thanks so much for joining us. Big thanks to our QCTV crew tonight from Fred Moore Pool. It'll be Blaine and Anoka diving coming up next. And we are back here at the Fred Moore Pool. Steve Thompson, Scott Berkland getting set up for diving here. Let's just do a quick recap of the events so far. JV girls 200-yard medley relay. Blaine first, second, Anoka third. Weissmuth, Thompson, Sorensen, and Foster win it. Once again, Blaine goes 1-2 in the JV 200-yard medley relay. On the varsity side, 200-yard medley relay, Blaine wins it. Bush, Edwards, Hernandez, and Forrest, 158.05. Anoka second, Blaine third. Then on to the 200-yard freestyle. JV, Eden Moy, 2:21.31. Her top time by over 4.5 seconds. She was seeded 2:26.06. Swam it in 2:21.31. Great swim by Eden Moy from Blaine. And then in the 200-yard freestyle, Nora Sloth from Anoka won it in 2:06.75. A little over a second off her top time. Reese Penoyer from Blaine, the 9th grader, finished second. Abby Johnson from Anoka finished third. And then the girls' 200-yard individual medley, JV. Caitlin Marks out of the gate, 2:47.01. Her best time of the year by over a second. A nice swim by Marks. Ava Nelson for Blaine finished second. Heidi James for Anoka finishing third. And then in event 6, girls 200-yard IM, the varsity. Gabby Bush dominated, 2:24.09. That was just off her top time of the year. And then Sarah Jensen from Anoka second. Madeline Scott came in third. Sarah Wong for Anoka was fourth. And then finally, let's get into the results from the 50-yard free. First JV, Heat 1, Juliet Joyce, 39:15, beat her top time by a second and a half. Congrats. Heat 2, Brittany Cruz from Blaine, 31:98 wins there. Ray Tamminen from Anoka, 33:42, just off, just 6/100ths off her top time of the year, wins Heat 3. And then at Heat 4, Chelsea Collins for Anoka, a nice swim in 29:98, just off her top time of the season. Then, of course, varsity girls 50 free. Allie Deal from Anoka, just an outstanding swim, Scott, in that 50 free. Terrific start, an even better turn.
Yeah, she did. She had a great turn, and she came off strong. She won that event, by 1.3 seconds. And in a 50 freestyle, it was almost a full body length. She was 4/10 off of her best, and we're not looking for a best swim from her. That was her first event. She did not swim the first relay, I noticed, and that means that she'll be swimming in the middle in the last relay. You can swim 2 individual and 2 relays, and each athlete. And it kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the coaching decision as to who are you going to swim in these events, and how you think your opponent is going to swim and who they're going to swim in their events. The times are all known. Everybody kind of knows what everybody has done. You can look up these times. It's pretty easy. I will tell you, when I got here in 1986, it was doing it by literally sending pieces of paper to each other. And we did that as a courtesy so we could show the results of different events. And so they, no kidding, show up in the mail. And then so that you could see how Coon Rapids swam against Blaine. And then, hey, guess what? Next week I was going to be swimming against Blaine. And who did they swim and what were their times? Because there wasn't the capability of having the internet.
And Scott, I was going to follow up on that. There's also this training season, work into the season, in the training schedule. Now as we get to the end of the season and sections, and hopefully for some of these swimmers an appearance in the state meet. But in reality, the rhythm of the season in training changes a great deal at the very end.
It truly does. This season started in the middle of August, and we've kind of gone through the beginning of October, end of September. It's like, oh my gosh, is the season ever going to end? And it gets really long. And this is also, as a coach, you are training your athletes incredibly hard during that time. And for them to be able to swim really fast on any given Tuesday or Thursday night is actually quite a phenomenon. Now, Allie is a state qualifier last year, and she's a very, very good swimmer in the 50 free. And we have other qualifiers, and I feel very naive not knowing more than I do about this year's team. But the point is that we've got girls that are swimming tonight that are going to be swimming in the JV conference meet, which is going to be in 10 days. We have girls that their goal is to make it into the section team. and then be able to make it back to finals on the at the section meet. And then here it is. We also have girls that are working desperately to get first or second or get a qualifying time to get themselves to the state meet. And then we have girls that are in this meet tonight who are hoping to be in finals at state meet and being on the podium. And so we've got athletes that are spread out with all different kinds of goals. And as a coach, that is an incredibly fun thing to do. So you talked about the fact that, you know, here we are, we're coming towards the end of the season, and the first girls that are going to be done are the ones that are going to be at this JV conference meet. They maybe have 2 to 4 more days of hard work that they're going to be doing this week. And then we taper down the number of yards and the intensity of the workout to get them rested for their conference and their championship meet. The fast swimming suits, and if you think back to some of the Olympic stuff, people sometimes think, well, the swimsuits don't matter, and yes, they're expensive and all of that. I have a photograph of my daughter, her senior year in college, and she put on her race suit, and she said, "Dad, I feel like a god," small letter G. You know? And I said something about the psychology of it, and it's incredibly psychological. This sport is so unique because you can train very, very hard because it's not a pounding. It's not a football. It's not hockey. It's not running. And in running, you can only train so hard because your body cannot take that pounding on the ground. Oddly enough, in swimming, because it's not a weight bearing, you can train, and you can train hard, and then you can train harder. And the best thing I think that's ended up happening is we figured out that we can, in fact, very easily overtrain. And that was something that I learned, obviously, along the road. Coaching at the University of Minnesota, what I did, we were doing blood lactate testing and all this other stuff. And it was like, wow, we're really overtraining our athletes. And we can back this off. These girls now that are for the JV conference meet are going to start their rest. The section girls, and then you got to get through sections to make it to state. And so we're going to see a lot of these girls. To be able to get first or second in this section is quite a deal. That is going to get you to your state meet. And so our very, very fast swimmers, who that's their goal, they're still going to be working for another week plus because sections is 3 weeks out and state is the week after that.
It's going quick, and of course, Freeman Aquatic Center at the U. What a great thrill for the kids who've had a chance to swim there as youth swimmers, club swimmers. But there's nothing like the state meet. It is a wonderful event and a great experience.
So a few weeks ago, there was a invitational that I talked to both the Blaine coach and the Anoka coaches, and they competed at, it's called the Maroon and Gold Invitational. And quite honestly, it is primarily for the opportunity for girls to actually go, for athletes to be able to go and swim at our finest facility that we have in the state. And it is run and echoed like the state meet. And so for our state meet qualifiers, it's great. They get to see some incredible competition. For the rest of the team, they have an opportunity to be able to swim, warm up, and go off the blocks at, again, one of the finest facilities in the state.
And we're ready to go with our first diving flight of the night. This is JV. Addison Sunby from Blaine. Samantha Blue. Blaine. Now Laney Johnson from Anoka.
Lonnie, 401C, inward dive tuck, 1.4.
Inward dive tuck. Should be diving towards the board in a tuck position, so she kind of like a ball. And the difficulty on this dive is 1.4. So what ends up happening is that the dive is announced, and then the athlete must perform that dive, and sometimes there's some difficulty. And once again, we have many athletes. This is their first time giving this sport a go. And then, as you might imagine, just like with swimming, we also have athletes who are vying for the top 16, top 8 divers in the state. And they're all lined up here today.
Once again, Laney Johnson for Anoka. Ava Barrett, 7th grader for Anoka. Now Emily McCollar, senior for Anoka. Once again, this diving JV.
Three scores are now going to be given. Those 3 scores are added up, and they are multiplied. That sum of those 3 scores is then multiplied times the degree of difficulty to get the final score. Each diver will dive 6 dives, and you are placed by the total number of points that you achieve. Very nice dive.
You can see the scores there.
Grace, 402C, inward 1 somersault tuck, 1.6.
Sydney Bush from Blaine.
Kirsten, 401B. Inward dive pike, 1.5.
Kirsten Bailey, Anoka. Top dive of the night so far, 8, 7.5. 7.5.
7.5 feet.
It's a dive.
Round 2, Smilla, 201A. Back dive straight, 1.7.
Samantha Blue here.
Addison, 201A. Back dive straight, 1.7.
Addison Sunby.
After the 50.
Again, JV divers.
4, 3.
Lonnie Johnson, 7th grader Anoka.
1.2.
Got a score update on the swim meet. Lead 4:28. You had that in your head.
Nice.
Ava Barrett, Anoka.
Forward, 1.5 somersault top, 1.6. Anoka, 402C, inward, 1 somersault tuck, 1.6.
Annika Lincoln here for Anoka.
It was a real joy. It was a real joy being a swimming coach and having a diving coach. I definitely belonged in the shallow end of the pool. Almost completed that rotation. This is divers and pole vaulters are cut of the same cloth. Crash, get back up, and do it again. Maybe golfers are the same.
That was Sydney Bush from Blaine.
The interesting thing is always trying to get as close to the board, not too close. The judging is totally subjective, which is hard. Only through experience can these judges, all judges, do a good job.
Kristen Bailey there for Anoka, the senior. See the scores.
Senior captain.
6, 5.5, 5.5.
Touch of a flutter kick on entry.
On to round 3, have Lonnie, 102C, forward 1, somersault tuck, 1.4.
Ava Barrett from Anoka, 7th grader. Good dive there. Good scores.
I think what's always amazing is that the consistency of just literally the approach on the board, it is just has to be ingrained. And when we're looking at the 7th, 8th grade girls, they just haven't had the time. To be able to have that repetition, to be able to then deal with what's happening in the air. Again, very happy that I was just spent my time in the water. And there's really no other place that you can actually practice this. I mean, how are you going to land on your hands, land on your head? And I admire all these young women for what they're doing.
Sydney Bush from Blaine. 10th grader.
Thursday, 52-23D, back 1 somersault, 1.5 twists, free, 2.3.
One somersault, 1.5 twists in a free position, meaning she can basically break or do whatever in the air.
6.5, 6.5. Lonnie, 202C, back 1 somersault, tuck, 1.5.
Nice. Full rotation. In fact, over-rotated. This is just getting, again, used to that.
Well, I think, being all eyeballs,
I know it. Yeah, the whole place is dialed in on you.
Right.
This is such an incredible learning opportunity. Dealing with pressure, again, all eyes on me. Nothing but admiration. Great height. There's no lead into that dive, so all the compression for you to have that board then carry you up is in that pushing that board down. Incredible amount of strength that's required to do that.
Good scores.
And these judges can see that. That's the kind of stuff. And yes, there's some courtesy scoring for maybe some of the newer. Nice height, which allows you to then be able to move your body to be able to enter at a better angle.
Anoka Blinkman for Anoka.
Grace, 52-21D, back 1 somersault, half twist, free.
It's Grace Shasky for Anoka, 9th grader.
There's almost the potential for too much rotation on that twist.
3.5, 4.
And then the scores.
Sydney, 51-22D, 4, 1 somersault, 1 twist, free, 1.9.
That's Sydney Bush from Blaine.
5, 5.5, 5.5. Kirsten, 52-31D, back 1.5 somersault, half twist, free, 2.1.
Kirsten Bailey, 7-7. Final judge, 7.5. Numbers for Bailey. Nice dives here tonight. Kirsten Bailey, the senior.
Reverse dive tuck, 1.6.
Anoka Blaine dual meet tonight here on QCTV. We're still in the diving competition. Any more swimming events coming up? Annika Blinkman for Anoka there. Good scores.
Grace, 103B, forward, 1.5 somersault pike.
It's Grace Shasky.
This is pike position. Strong. And with that over rotation. That was just Grace, right? Yeah. Grace last week on the state section true team was 16th in the 1 meter dive.
That's Sydney Bush for Blaine.
Kirsten, 303C, reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.1.
Would have liked to have seen her be able to extend those hands before entry, but great height. Kristen last week was second at her section true team meet in the dive.
Barrett here for Anoka. Again, final round. Everyone 6 dives.
Anoka 302C, reverse 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Oh, sorry, skip Billy, sorry Billy. Billy 202A, back 1 somersault, straight 1.7.
To think that they don't have their dives memorized. Excuse me, Mr. Announcer? Yeah, the mental repetition that's going through their minds. Again, the spatial reasoning and spatial awareness of where your body is, and by leading your head or throwing your hand, all of these things are driving what's taking place in the air. Too much, too little, it is just sheerly repetition, repetition. Nice. It's easy to see the potential for over or under rotation on an inward dive, and you're spinning back towards the board. Yeah, she's pleased with that. That's fun. Beautiful. Her approach is...
Hey, Shatsky to spin.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
The consistency in her approach is only going to make her a better diver, and so nice that she over-rotated that.
Sydney Bush from Blaine, final dive. That'd be Kristen Bailey from Anoka.
Let's see what DD she has, degree of difficulty.
Kirsten 104B, forward 2 somersaults pike, 2.3.
I believe 2.3, 2.4, 2 somersaults pike. Very nice.
Great way to finish. 7. Another 7.
7's across.
7's across the board for Bailey in. Good final dive.
This concludes diving.
And that is the diving competition. When we come back, 100-yard butterfly, grueling race right out of the gate. We'll have the JV and the varsity. It is Anoka and Blaine from Fred Moore Pool tonight. I'm Steve Thompson along with Scott Berkland and our great QCTV crew. Quick break, and we will come back and get everybody warmed up and ready to go for the second half of the swim meet tonight.
Cole with Anoka County SHIP, and I have a question for you. When was the last time you moved from your seat? Movement makes all the difference in living the healthiest life you can, especially if you're working from home or the office where you're probably sitting down all day. So whether it's getting up for a cup of coffee or walking over to check out the window, a little bit of movement can make a lot of difference for your health. So get up and get moving with Anoka County SHIP every day at goanokacounty.org.
And so let's get you, let's have you come and help out with us.
Rum River Art Center is your local nonprofit organization located in the old milk factory near downtown Anoka. Our nearly 6,000 square feet of windy and whimsical studio spaces are filled with inspiration. At Rum River Art Center, we embrace individuals of all artistic abilities and focus on the healing aspect of the process over your final product. We pride ourselves in offering classes with a huge variety of mediums at an affordable price. From one-time ceramic wheel throwing classes to multi-week painting courses, from creating at the Art Center to finding us at your local library, we believe art is the catalyst for connecting human beings to each other and themselves. Come visit us or check out our website, rumriverart.com, for more info on classes, galleries, special events, and how you can support the arts in your community.
We are Midwest Animal Rescue and Services, aka MARS. We are committed to serving both pet and parent, finding homes for animals that were once lost, left behind, and forgotten, while bringing harmony and enhancing education in our community. We started in 2006 and have a 98% adoption success rate. With the help of our community and people like you, MARS has saved over 21,000 animals. All of our animals live in foster homes as family members. Once they get adopted and go home, they stay home. We have a nonprofit veterinary clinic and dog obedience training services. We are actively supporting both ends of the leash, both people and pets, breaking down barriers and building community. Visit our website, www.midwestanimalrescue.org, to learn more and join our MARS community today.
The Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce has been a staple of the cities of Andover, Anoka, Champlin, Coon Rapids, now then Oak Grove, Ramsey, and St. Francis for over 70 years. The Chamber is an invaluable resource for the business community and helps local businesses and business owners connect with their residents, enhance their credibility within the community, and build connections with other businesses. With your Chamber membership, you'll be able to attend networking events, submit articles to the Chamber magazine, be featured on QCTV's monthly program, The Chamber Report, and receive special discounts available only to Chamber members. To join the Chamber, fill out the application form on www.anokaareachamber.com and mail it to mail@anokaareachamber.com
County ship every day at goanokacounty.org. Thanks.
What do you think of when you hear the name 4-H? I bet you didn't think of performing arts, engineering projects, or training your dog in agility. But it's all of these things and more. 4-H is Minnesota's largest youth development organization, and we follow a hands-on, learn-by-doing model. Youth in grades kindergarten through 1 year past high school follow their own sparks and interests as they develop skills like teamwork and community service that will last them a lifetime. There are so many ways to engage in 4-H. You can join a community or project club, attend camp, or participate in a one-time workshop. So no matter what you're interested in, from horses to photography, rocket building to fashion, there is something for all youth in 4-H. Contact our Anoka County office and we'll help you get started. We'll see you in 4-H.
For Donnelly.
Rebels here at home. They could have some home games.
Wagon Reader. Thorson scores!
3 touchdowns, all to Masuku. He's got 1 on the ground. What a great catch. Look at that.
Top of the face-off circle. She sends one low. Save is made. Follow-up shot. Score by Max. Whether or not that's
Great look and a goal! Anoka! Gets through. You see right there, as Bernovic with a shot.
Second half of our meet, and we just had the diving competition. Once again, all the swimmers in the pool and some great events coming up. Once again, JV and varsity, 100-yard butterfly out of the gate in this one. And top seed time in the varsity 100-yard butterfly, Nora Sloth from Anoka at 104.26. And she had a good swim earlier in this meet, finishing first in the 200-yard free in 206.75, just off her best time of the year. So Anoka right in this meet still. Long way to go, Scott. You had the updated scores once the diving competition. They still have an opportunity to win this meet tonight.
I think that, that there is an awful lot. What we had was...
that was 34-28.
34 Blaine, 28 for Anoka. And I'm going to look and see if we have an updated score after diving. And in fact, we do. Anoka has 39 and Blaine is 38.
39-38, so Anoka by 1. So still a long way to go in this meet. And some strength for the Tornadoes in some of these events coming up. We talked during the break a little bit. Fun event to look forward to is going to be Allie Deal's swim in the 100-yard freestyle. She has the top seed time by almost 5 full seconds in that event, so it'll be fun to see Allie Deal swim in that 100-yard free here at Fred Moore.
I think so, and she sometimes does the fly. Again, coach's decision to put her in here, I do not know, nor am I going to go asking what she is going to be swimming at the state meet. Last year, she was in top 8 with a 51.9 100 freestyle. Now that's the real deal. The
pool record here,
right,
is 52.10. Yeah, 52.10 is a Fred Moore pool record.
Right. But you have to understand also is that there's rarely a rested, that whole back to that taper thing, there is very rarely a championship meet swum in this pool all of those records are coming from a dual meet, just like this. And, both boys and girls, and you look back at some of those, and through our history, that was kind of a goal for some teams to come in here. I remember when Maple Grove was really strong, and they came in and wanted to set some pool records against us. The team record for girls in 100 free is Jenny Hennon, and that is a 51.46. I know that if Allie is going to be swimming the 100, and I do not know what she's going to be swimming at state. What she swims at sections is what she's going to be swimming at state. You can't switch events in between those two, and so you qualify in those events at the section meet.
What are those discussions like between coach and swimmer? Is it purely looking at times? Are there other things that go into that plan? What are we going to do in the section meet, as far as for those swimmers where the goal is to swim in state?
Right.
And hopefully make the podium.
There were times in Anoka's history, and that's all that I can speak for, is when we were looking at a team and trying to win the section meet. We also had to think about my best athletes and thinking about what is going to be where you are going to do the best as an individual at the state meet. If I had you swim the backstroke instead of breaststroke, I know you're going to be able to do, because you were a strong athlete, and that would be good for the team, but it wouldn't be good for the individual. And so you ask one heck of a good question. Anoka this year is not in a situation for winning the section meet. And with that, we get to be able to then shift our premise going more towards what does that athlete and where do we think that athlete is individually going to do well, or the potential of where we're going to use them in a relay. Again, each athlete is allowed 4 events, 2 individual, a maximum of 2 individual. You can swim 1 individual and 3 relays, but you are only allowed 2 individual events. Thus, you'd probably be swimming in 2 relays. Yeah.
So a lot of decision-making going on, and once again, looking forward to some of these terrific seed times. And once again, really looking forward to Allie Deal. And once again, great swim in that 50 free, finishing first, 24.74, just off her seed time at 24.31. And we're just winding down warm-ups and are going to be starting here very shortly. And out of the gate, 100-yard butterfly. And that is a tough swim. There's no question about it. That's grueling.
So when we look at this, we have 9th grader Sydney Hernandez from Blaine is going to be swimming in lane 4. And she's seated at a 105.78. And, she had a beautiful fly early in the meet. Nora had a very strong fly, very strong in her legs. Senior and captain of the team. And she is a top seed in the varsity 100 fly at a 104.26. Sydney that is going to be a very, very nice race. I think we also have to look at, we've got a dual meet that's Anoka is up by 1 point. Now I think Anoka knew that they were going to do well in diving team-wise, but Blaine can do some damage here in this 100 fly in the seconds, thirds, fourths, and fifth places. So this will be interesting to watch.
Well, we're just about ready to go. JV will get us started again as the swimmers get ready to take their mark. Once again, 100-yard butterfly.
So the butterfly stroke, this is not necessarily come natural to newer swimmers. Both arms out of the water and to
power yourself to get both arms out of the water at the same time, believe it or not, requires a huge amount of legs. So the double dolphin kick, you're kicking dolphin down on entry into the water when your hands go entering into the water, and then you kick a second time on exit from the water. Typically what we'll find is alternating breathing so that you can get that butterfly motion. There's not a whole lot prettier than a really good butterfly. It is one of the more beautiful strokes that there is.
And we are just about ready to go. Once again, it is event 11, girls 100-yard butterfly. JV here tonight. Blaine and Anoka dual meet very tight after the first swimming events and diving. And underway, top seed time. Ellen Lindberg, Anoka, lane 5, 7th grader, 133.44. And then Emily Reyes Cortez, sophomore from Anoka, in lane 3 at 133.81. So a good opportunity for the Tornadoes, but it's lane 6 with a terrific.
Callie Sorensen.
Yeah, junior from Blaine. And she is off to a terrific start. Once again, 4 lengths of the pool, 2 laps. And she has a very nice lead after 50. Two-hand touch, a key. Got to get both hands on the wall. Make the turn, and she is looking strong. And over in lane 3, running second for the Tornadoes is Reyes Cortez. And the Tornadoes have the 3rd place swimmer in Blaine. Rachel Radke, in 5. Ellen Lindberg for Anoka in 3rd place. Final 25 underway.
This is where the
Reyes Cortez trying to catch her.
Yep. Good body position. Keep the legs moving. Keep the legs moving. Drive to the finish. Good. Good job.
Callie Sorensen from Blaine. 2nd to Emily Reyes Cortez. And 3rd to Ellen Lindberg.
Callie Sorensen came in with a time of 150. That was looked like an estimated time that was put in because it was a 150.00. But for her to come and do a 31.37, 131.37, and kept her body position very well through that entire thing. Reyes Cortez also a 31.55.
And as a coach, I'm sure you're watching for, among the young swimmers, the proper form throughout the 100 yards.
Absolutely. And now, again, they're strong enough now here at the end of the season to be able to do this. And off we go with the varsity. Nora Sloth in lane 5 is our top seed. Sydney Hernandez in lane 4 for Blaine, 9th grader.
First 25.
Sydney's very relaxed stroke in 4. Nora's a come from behind swimmer. She's just staying long and relaxed in her first 50 yards.
Very even.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
Hernandez in 4, but it's 6. Layton, who had the lead after 50.
Yeah, 5 across. Here we go.
And down here, Sarah Wong for the Tornadoes is right up front. And with 25 to go, is going to be right in the thick of this thing. In 5, it's Sloth.
Legs, legs, legs. Nora, big legs coming in. Look at the strong kick.
Long has a chance at 2nd.
Come on.
Hernandez in 4. So 3rd, Long, good swim for the Tornadoes. Sloth wins at 105.44.
excellent. It is really fun to be able to see them come back at the end of this race. Again, we're at the end of the season. Yep, we're tired, but this is also where the fly begins to make hay, because we're strong enough to be able to do this and actually finish strong. A lot of confidence from that race for these young women.
By the way, 3 heats of the 100-yard free JV.
Again, it looks like we have all Anoka in the first heat.
Yep, then all Blaine in heat number 2.
Okay.
Opportunity for these most experienced swimmers. Top seed time. Emma Daniels, sophomore, Anoka, 121.16.
Really?
And Daniels off to a very nice start.
Very
Here in
nice.
lane 8, Kissel. Arabelle Kissel also got off to a good start. But it is Daniels in lane 4 in this first heat of the JV 100-yard free. Emma Daniels already a body length lead.
Like to see her breathe a little bit more. We don't want to go anaerobic at all in this, and so you do have to breathe early in the race. Sometimes we think, okay, I'm going to not breathe, and then all of a sudden you're anaerobic, and the church organ lands on your shoulders, and it gets heavy.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Not at all. She's staying strong, big legs.
In 3, Jet Sloth from Anoka.
Very nice strokes across the board here.
Emma Daniels is going to get it to the wall first.
Nice.
119.85 for Daniels.
That's over a 2-second drop, or just under a 2-second drop for her. Some really nice time drops. Again, huge confidence now coming into our taper meet for the year. Look at the smiles.
And once again, that's what's so great. Even in the JV swims, people, best time of the year.
Absolutely.
Meet their goals. All good.
7th, 8th, 9th graders. Emma's a sophomore. I was just talking to one of the referees here. He went out for swimming his junior year in high school, and he swam in college. And the gentleman who's doing the starting, and he and I coached against each other. He was coaching at Andover. We became very good friends, and he started swimming in high school. We can't have any movement.
And we're underway. Heat 2, 100-yard freestyle JV. These are all Blaine swimmers here.
Again, so nice to see these strokes.
Leading 5 to Sophia Gillespie, a 9th grader.
Yeah, look at that. Bilateral breathing, so she's breathing every side. What really helps in the balance of the stroke, she'll breathe her left, now she'll breathe her right. Every third arm stroke. Nice wall. Very impressive. And I'm seeing that across the board. This is one of the learning techniques, is to try to keep them balanced, is to try to keep breathing on alternate sides to keep that freestyle not swimming just to one side.
Layla Reeves-Mius over in lane 1, a good swim. She has a chance to get to the wall first. Once again, Sophia Gillespie is led, and it's going to be very close at the wall, but I think Gillespie's going to get it done, and she does.
Great times.
12:26 for her.
Very impressive, guys. Very. Smiles around.
Good swim. Now the final heat of the 100-yard free, JV. Couple of 113s.
And 109 for Karina Patterson from Anoka in lane 5.
And they are underway. Yeah, Karina Patterson in 5 at 109.82. Brooklyn Bakerhoff 113.07. Lucia Lockwood 113.16.
Yep.
It is Patterson in 5.
Notice the bilateral breathing again. Nice entry in the water. She's a small girl, and she is strong. Great turnover. Over here in lane 8.
Brittany Cruz challenging from Blaine. She's got a shot. Patterson in 5 and Cruz in 8. 25 to go. And a good turn for Patterson. Patterson took the advantage on that turn, Scott.
Yeah, that was a great wall. Look at the strength that she has. She's picked up her turnover. She's picked up her legs. I'm not taking anything at all away from Cruz. She also really brought that home. A 111 for Cruz for her second place. Patterson a 110.0. Lovely.
Yeah, good solid swim, but the turn really the key with 25 to go.
Third wall, we're tired, and that is very good coaching in the fact that I need to get you off through that third wall. You own it. Own that thing. Don't look around at anybody. You take care of you and get your hand on the wall as fast as possible.
There's a 100-yard free varsity.
Watch the middle of the pool.
Allie Deal, 53.17 in 5 for Anoka. Reese Forrest for Blaine, 58.11 in 4. And it's Deal with the lead already. Look at her go. Deal powers her way. And as she hits the wall after 50, she's in command.
25-32 out. I don't know if she's going to be able to come back in a 27. She had to come back in a 26.5 for a pool record.
Deal rolling.
She is going for it, that is for certain.
Deal head down, big lead over Forrest. Deal in 5 is going to roll to a victory in this 100-yard freestyle. The time, 53-54.
Blaine is going to be second and third. Anoka is fifth.
Just off her top time of the year, but Blaine piles up points.
Blaine piled up points there. So Anoka was first and fifth.
So Deal Forrest, 57-59. But Deal won that race by over 4 seconds, just dominated.
We were discussing the fact that if she was actually going to go for that, and she went for it. We now have, there is no JV 500, there is only the varsity.
Ten laps, 500 yards here in this 500-yard varsity freestyle. And terrific time. Sydney Edwards for Blaine, an 8th grader, 5:27.28. Her seed time. Abby Johnson for Anoka, top seed time for the Tornadoes, 5:49.76. And right out of the gate, Sydney Edwards has the lead, but Abby Johnson's right there after 50.
Abby is going to be really strong with this. I want her to stay in control. I want you to look at Sydney's stroke. You know, we just got to watch Allie swim her 100, and that's one of the faster swims, top 10 swims in the state right now that we just saw. And now we're going to multiply this erase times 5. Instead of 100 yards, we have 500 yards. And this was my event. This is what I loved coaching. This is what I coached. I was the distance coach for 2 years under Denny Dale at the University of Minnesota, and I coached distance athletes. And watching an effortless freestyle to be able to go this quick. So a 34-1 right now is, and she's just humming kumbaya.
That is Reese Forrest for Blaine in cruise control right now. What about the mental part of it? Because all these kids swim distances in practice like this, but to actually swim in competition a 500, that's got to be a lot between the ears.
It is the idea of being in control, and I think that you haven't, if you have or have not noticed, at the far end of the pool, they're actually keeping track.
Sure.
But she knows exactly where she is, and you know she's. Sometimes mentally you break it out by 5 100s in your head. You swim many of these type practices in practice where you'll do a set of 5 100s with maybe 5 or only 10 seconds rest in between, where you are learning what your time is for each one of those. Your coach is on top of you, giving you your time, and then asking you to go slightly faster for each one. For instance, she just went 0.4 of a second faster on that 50 than she did in the one before. She was a 34.4, now she's a 34.0. Is this part of her plan? It's also a way to think your way through this, because let's be honest, you've got a 5.5-minute swim that has the potential of being pretty hellish. I mean, it hurts. And you've got to keep yourself in control. You have to stay aerobic. There's the 34.1, so she was 0.1 of a second slower.
Once again, that's Sydney Edwards of Blaine in lane 4, in control of this race, and has been since the first 50. Really kind of took over.
It is like a metronome. And you know, this is not her first rodeo. This is, I know that she's in 8th grade, but this is something that she has done. Now a 34, that was 0.03 of a second faster. She's just dialed in. And that is, it's a beautiful thing to watch, and it'll be kind of fun to watch her now. She just got the signal from her counter to start to go a little faster. She's coming, this will be 400 yards that she's coming in at now, and she's lapping the person next to her. It's immaterial to think about what actually is taking place else in the pool.
100 to go right now.
Yep. So all she has to do, and now a 33.89. So she did, in fact, go 0.2 of a second faster. And she noticed that. She knew that she was going a little bit faster. Interesting thing is exactly same thing is actually happening with Abby. So she's starting to pick it up. Her coach is the one who's right in front of us, and you'll see her coming in. She's now, Nicole was signaling down to her counter to tell the counter what to do. And so they've got communication to make that work. By the way, Sydney just went a 33.5. That was 0.3 of a second faster. That was the bell lap, and she's coming in now for the finish.
Yep, final 15 for Sydney Edwards. Dominant swim. Abby Johnson from Anoka solidly in second. She has 25 to go. Her time, 5:33.92.
Slower than she needed, but she did not necessarily need to do anything. There is not the competition. This is a good, this is what we're talking about. That was a good workout swim for her.
Abby Johnson, 5:53.12.
Very nice.
Just off her seed time of 5:49.76.
These guys are our section qualifiers. They are tapering for sections. And here's the sad thing about distance swimmers, they get less rest. When it comes to taper, they're the ones who get the least amount of rest. And oddly enough, they actually will respond better with slightly less.
So Sydney Edwards wins it. Abby Johnson second. Sarah Jensen third. Allison Jensen from Blaine fourth. And then Elliott Teff from Anoka fifth. So the Tornadoes don't win the race, they get points.
We just got back exactly what we lost. I say we, excuse me. I have to speak from a Anoka alumnus here.
Well, that's all right.
Anoka just undid what happened during the 100 free, during the 500 free.
And final finisher over there in one. They've stacked from Anoka, the 9th grader. In one will come to the wall and finish in 7:11.24. But a dominant swim for the 8th grader, Sydney Edwards. That's impressive.
Yeah.
For an 8th grader, a 500 like that's really good.
Such control. And again, Abby was doing a beautiful, beautiful job too. Now, again, most people think, oh, the 500, it's time to go take a nap. I love the event. All three of my kids swam this all through high school. And I don't know how many fast twitch muscles are in the Berklet household. So this was what their events were. Speaking of, you're going to watch. I bet that we're going to see both Abby and Sydney get right back up on the blocks for the varsity 200 freestyle. I'm going to go looking for them and see if they are actually going to do that. I don't see Sydney in Blaine, and let's go to varsity.
I see Allie Deal.
Yep.
Yep. Allie Deal, who won the 100 free, is going to go. So 200-yard freestyle relay. This is JV first.
We do have, well, we'll talk about the varsity in just a second. Okay, one heat of the JV 200 freestyle relay. So 50, 2 lengths for each of the 4 athletes. It is fast, it is speedy. Watch the touches. The toes cannot leave from the blocks until the hand touches the wall.
Blaine in 4, Blaine in 6, the lead. Tornadoes next in 5. And good battle. The Bengals 1-2. Lane 4 right now the lead of that JV relay. Lushine, Bauman, Hadley, and Rivard for the Bengals. Then Moy, Sabinski, Cruz, and Black in lane 6. They're running 1-2, and the Tornadoes run in 3rd in lane 5. And that is James, Sloth, Erickson, and Brandon. Bengals still in control in lane 4. And they have the big lead there. Anoka leading Blaine by 1. You had it right on the money, Coach.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
It didn't look good after the 100 free for the Tornadoes, but they came back. And that 500-yard freestyle got right back in the meet.
Well, I'm going to talk quickly about the varsity here. So Allie Deal, who's just swam the 100 free, and had a beautiful 53 point, is going to lead off the middle relay, or the 200 freestyle relay. She normally doesn't swim the 200 freestyle relay. She normally swims on the first relay and can swim any of those. Not much of a breaststroker, but she's got can do any of those other.
By the way, Blaine in 4 won the JV. They're going to take second in 6. And the Tornadoes still in good shape to take third in 5.
This varsity relay is going to potentially be the meet that's coming up next.
So the Tornadoes do come in third in 2:28.80. The Blaine goes 1-2 in that JV 200-yard freestyle relay. And now the big 200-yard freestyle relay. And this is going to be a showdown between the Blaine Bengals in 4, Gabby Bush, Ada German, Reese Penoyer, and Sydney Edwards. And then in 5, Allie Deal, Emily Nices, Nora Sloth, and Abby Johnson. This should be fun.
This is going to be pretty cool. So I also have to remind you that 8 points goes to the first, 4 points goes to second, and 2 points goes to third, and that's it. So I know there's lots of teams, but only top 3 are going to be scoring points for the team.
They go a Deal first to get off to a fast start, and look at that start.
Gabby Bush is in lane 4, senior for Blaine.
Deal in 5, has the early lead, and trying to give the Tornadoes a margin. She will, but Bush running in second, Blaine running in third as well in 5.
Watch this start.
Or 6.
A nice start, safe start, 25-39 for Deal.
Nice is next in the pool for Anoka with the lead. Blaine running 2-3 in lanes 4 and 6. Anoka still leading. Nice.
So there is a Pac-Man situation here. Here comes Sloth. Going against Reese.
Nora Sloth.
Reese had a slightly slow start there, but she is strong in the water.
Still Anoka.
0.9 of a second difference now in those last splits. This is going to be tight.
Sloth still has the lead over Penoyer for Blaine at the wall. Final swimmers
Nice
in the
start.
pool. Abby Johnson for the Tornadoes.
Sydney had a better start in Blaine.
Sydney Edwards right on her tail.
Head down. Come on, Abby.
25 to go. And the Tornadoes hold them off.
Watch this,
It'll be
ladies and
close.
gentlemen.
Abby Johnson for Anoka, Sydney Edwards for Blaine. They're coming to the wall. It'll be the Tornadoes.
1900ths between them. Eight points to 8 points.
Wow.
Anoka is up by 1.
Well, the strategy, lead off with Deal, get a lead, and they hung on.
I lied. Anoka got 8, Blaine got 4, and then third place got 2. So we are actually, Anoka is up by 3.
So lane 6, or lane 5, 146.76.
Yeah.
21 hundredths. What a fun race that was.
That was also pretty cool. So that's actually their best time of the season. For Anoka to pull that out again, the last dual meet of the year at home, and to be able to do that. That was a nice split. That wasn't a great lead off for Allie, but I will tell you that Abby Johnson on the end of that thing, there was some Ms. Pac-Man going on. And Sydney had, I believe, a better start than Abby did. And I honestly thought that Sydney was going to be able to do that. She did not have the best wall. Again, the 50 freestyle. It's a start and it's a turn.
So we got 2 heats of the 100-yard backstroke for the JV. Got a mix of swimmers from Anoka and Blaine. I want to ask you, once we get started here in the 100 backstroke, is teaching the turn. And this is where the flags you see in the shot there that we're looking at, you can see under the start. That's where they play a huge factor.
So
those flags over the pool are for the backstroke.
Yep, those flags are 5 yards out. And in practice, over and over again, whether you're a backstroker or not, this is in part of the process is coaching all 4 of the strokes, of course. And hopefully your athlete is going to be able to gravitate towards one of them. And sometimes that happens, and sometimes, they need a little push. But there's a decision, and I know we now have the referee here. When we were watching, who is that in 4?
Yeah, Sophia Harris for Blaine, 9th grader.
Yeah.
She has the lead, and then the Tornadoes, Arabelle Kissel, a 7th grader in lane 5, running 2nd. Actually 3rd, because we have Ari Thompson from Blaine here in the near lane in 8th, running in 2nd.
Sophia, when she came into that wall, it may look like she's blind and cannot see the wall, but if you can watch her right here, you're going to see her 1, 2, 3, 4, and the reach and kick into the wall, obviously for the finish. She had a beautiful timing on her finish, on her turn at the 50.
2nd goes to lane 8, Ari Thompson from Blaine. 3rd to the Tornadoes, Arabelle Kissel in 5. But Harris, 1:23.14, her time, beat her seed time by about a half a second. Nice swim for her.
That was really good. I watched something kind of interesting. There was a swimmer who almost turned over for her finish. And unfortunately, was not disqualified, but if you go more than halfway so that your chest is facing downwards, if you go more than halfway, it can be a disqualification. The only time that you can do that is during the turn, not on a finish. Sometimes the little nuances, and but again, all of these things have to be taught and instructed. The second JV heat.
On her back, Izzy Ringwelski, 7th grader from Anoka, top seed time 1:28.17.
Callie Sorensen from Blaine in 4, a junior.
Lockwood for Anoka in 1, Davini for Blaine in 2, Reyes Cordes for Anoka in 3, Sorensen in 4, Ringwelski in 5, Tentons for Blaine in 6, Mortensen for Anoka in 7, Wilson for Blaine in 8, first 25 in the books. And lane 2 for Blaine over there, Maggie Davini, a senior. Good start to her 100 back.
Let's watch their timing coming into this wall. They know their number of strokes before they make the decision to roll over, and then they do like a normal freestyle flip turn. They must come out on their back.
Vinny is still the lead in 2. Second to Sorensen in 4. Mortensen in 7 for Anoka. Running in 3rd. And over in 2, it's still Maggie DeVinny, the senior from Blaine. And we got a good battle for second here. Mortensen in 7 and Sorensen in 4. DeVinny will win it in 122-26. Battle for second heating up.
Oh, very nice.
And the Tornado got it done. Stella Mortensen, the 7th grader. Good finish.
Again, she dove right for that wall, and then we ended up with a slight kick and hesitation coming into the wall in the finish.
And 3rd goes to Sorensen from Blaine. And now we have the varsity 100-yard backstroke. And 2 evenly matched swimmers in the middle of the pool.
Yes, we do. This is going to be also an awful lot of fun. Just to let you know, Anoka 71, Blaine 68. That is at the conclusion of the 500. Excuse me, after the relay.
We are on the final page of the event list here tonight.
Gabby Bush in lane 4 for Blaine. Sydney DeRung for Anoka in lane 5, both seniors. Seed times 104. Underwater, streamline. You'll notice how far they stay underwater. Up comes DeRung.
Good battle, 25 yards in, and it looks like the Bengals will have the lead. That's Gabby Bush, the senior from Blaine. Philippian 1, Clark in 2. Barrow in 3, Bush in 4, DeRung in 5, Edwards in 6, Collins in 7. Tornadoes come back at the wall, may have had the lead, 50 in. Looks like the Tornadoes and DeRung the lead, barely over Bush.
Stay in control. This is when you have to think about what's happening in your lane, not look at what's going on next to you. Your job is to get to the wall. Your job is to get to the wall.
Bush in 4 for Blaine. DeRung in 5 for Anoka at the wall. Who's going to get it? It looks like Bush gets it. What a finish. Back and forth they went, Scott.
Blaine 1, 3, 4, 5.
Ooh. Gabby Bush holds off Sydney DeRung. Bush in 103.92, her best time of the year.
That was fantastic.
DeRung, though, at 104.26, also had her best time of the year.
DeRung took half a stroke, and it was the finish. They were coming together. DeRung was actually gaining on her slightly in the last 10 yards, and it all came down to the finish. We've all seen enough in the in watching Olympics and otherwise when we're talking about hundredths of a second. The 100 breaststroke. This is the last individual event. JV.
2 heats.
2 heats of the JV.
And we got all Blaine Bengals. Blaine Bengals in the pool here. And an early lead in 4. Rachel Lechner with the lead. So it's Marks in 1. Tamminen in 2. Reesmus in 3. Lechner in 4. Van Vliet in 5. Leighton in 6. Prom in 7. And Yang in 8. 4 lengths, 2 laps here in this 100-yard breaststroke. And once again, Lechner in control from the start, but down in 1, Marks a good swim as well right there. And a good solid turn.
the breaststroke is the slowest stroke, but it's also where the efficiency can make so much of a difference. The body is not out of the water very much at all. You are watching, if you can see all the way over to lane 1, there is a newer stroke which is trying to exemplify a little bit more of the dolphin or the butterfly. And in lane 1,
Marks, and she's going to get it done.
Yes, she is. And they're getting her hands out of the water, and she's getting her shoulders and head higher above the water. So she's actually now driving downhill versus it being basically sub and underwater, the quote-unquote old-fashioned breaststroke. But again, we're in a learning situation here, and we'll see what ends up happening with the varsity and look at the stroke differences between the different athletes. We'll see it again here now in the second heat of the JV.
Marks improved her time, by the way, winning that heat by 3.5.
Good grief.
That's impressive. That was a good swim for her. Congrats. Now to heat 2.
When the efficiency increases, the time drops happen and are substantial.
Best time in this heat, Heidi James, Anoka, the 8th grader, in 1:30.19. And James swimming in 5. Blaine a 3-point lead at this point with a 100 breaststroke coming up. Final JV heat here. 25 in. And swimmer down in 2. Graf from Blaine off to a good start. In 5 for the Tornadoes, it's James. Graf over in 2 stays really low in the water.
Yep. This is also where the legs are 75% of this stroke. There's so much power coming from the legs. The problem is that you're pulling underwater with your arms, and then you have to efficiently move those hands back forward again while being underwater.
And it is Heidi James, the 8th grader from Anoka, with the lead, 25 to go, and comes out of the turn in good shape. But in 2, Graf from Blaine, another 8th grader, putting up a fight. And then here in 8, Rivard from Blaine. Looks like she'll get in 3rd, but it will be the Tornado. James getting it done in 1:32.13.
Great legs that was Rivard. Very strong lower body. Excellent.
Yeah, tremendous finish for Rivard, coming in 2nd. In 8.
And Heidi James, I know it may not have been a best time for her, but that was a very, very good swim, 8th grader.
All right, big event, final individual event.
Oh, my. Okay, so right now, Blaine is up by 3. We have in lane 4, Sydney Edwards with a 1:12.78. Next to her in lane 3 is Mackenzie Solberg at a 1:12.23 in lane 3. 8th grader against the 12th grader. Lane 3.
Eyes on lane 3 and 4. Solberg for Anoka in 3. Edwards in 4 for Blaine.
This is really where our 3rd, 4th, and 5th is going to make a big deal.
Edwards, the lead at 25.
She's making a statement.
Outstanding 8th grader for the Bengals. But staying right on her heels is Solberg for Anoka in 3. Bang for Blaine in 2. And Edwards in control of this race.
Emily here in lane 5 is going to be a big deal. Let's go.
Vang in 2, still has second. Edwards with 25 to go will turn with the lead. But closing in is Solberg on second place. And it's going to be who finishes second, third, fourth, and fifth. Vang still a chance at second. Edwards is going to win it.
Great
to the
time.
wall. Solberg gets there. Then Vang. Fourth, the nicest for Anoka.
2-4-5 for
Nelson.
Anoka.
Nelson ends up fifth in lane 7. So Edwards in 1:13.18. About a half second off her best time of the year. But still the 8th grader. Impressive. And now 400-yard freestyle relay, JV. And we'll have a full pool for this one. We'll close it out with the relays. What do you think, Scott? Right down to the wire?
Yeah, I think that this is now Blaine's to lose. And I don't think that is going to end up happening, but we're going to end up, I'll tell you what, just like any sporting event you have ever called before, it is going to come down to this last race.
Leading lane 4, Blaine in this JV 400-yard freestyle relay. Bauman, Reesmus, Moy, and Lechner. Blaine in 6, running second. Gillespie, Landis, Olson, and Tettens. And then the Tornadoes in 5th, in 5, or I should say 3rd, in 5. Peterson, Rickerhoff, Reyes Cordes, and Lockwood. 25 to go for the first leg of this 400-yard freestyle relay. And things have tightened up. Tornadoes in 5 have the lead. Karina Peterson.
This is what I love about relays. And who are you going to put in what position?
Good swim by Peterson.
Blaine is so strong in this. Their JV team is doing great. It's really impressive. And I know that right now Anoka is ahead, but to have these 2 relays so close, and they've done that consistently tonight, I think that watching the JV is a good look at the future of that team.
This is Brooklyn Brinkerhoff, still holding the lead for the Tornadoes with 50 to go in her leg number 2. Blaine in lane 5, now even after the turn. And that's Brianna Reesmus. Well, it's a good battle here in the second leg of this 400-yard freestyle relay. Tornadoes at the turn, 25 to go for these swimmers, and they're very close. And the drama of a swim meet is so much fun when it's close, but the Tornadoes have the advantage. Brinkerhoff, nice job here. We'll hand it off to Emily Reyes Cordes in lane 5. Tornadoes have the lead of this 400-yard JV freestyle relay. And in the pool for Blaine, Eden Moy, a sophomore. She's showing speed in the first 25 and has almost caught the Tornadoes. And she has. What a turn.
Beautiful. And look at this stroke. Once again, very strong legs. Both of the girls are doing very well. But we are seeing more speed out of 4.
Moy's just been tremendous.
Great wall.
Reyes Cordes trying to hang in there and stay in touch. But it is right now Eden Moy, the sophomore for Blaine, in the third leg. She's on her final 25. making the turn, Reyes Cordes for the Tornadoes. Eden Moy, what a swim in her 100. Now into the pool, Rachel Lechner trying to close it out. And now Lucia Lockwood in the pool for Anoka in 5. That was the Eden Moy show there for the Blaine Bengals on that third leg.
That was a great, I wish I would have gotten that split for her. I know Coach has it. I'm sure Mom and Dad have it as well.
Lechner trying to close it out for Blaine. She'll have 50 to go. In lane 4, she'll make the turn, final 50 here. Anoka still running in second in this JV relay. And that is Lockwood. Lockwood trying to reel her in.
Her split was a full second and a half faster. And she's closing.
And she is gaining ground. Final 25 for Lechner for Blaine, trying to close it out. I don't know if Lockwood's going to have time.
Nope, I don't think so.
She's had a good 100 though, Scott.
Very, very good swims.
Well, here it is, Blaine going to close out the victory here in this JV 400-yard freestyle relay. Tornadoes come in second. But I kind of circled Eden Moy in that swim. That was fantastic.
Again, I sure wish I had her split. Blaine 1-3, Anoka 2-4.
And these teams wrapping up the relay. Nothing like the excitement in the pool for the relay to close it out.
I'm looking across that 400 relay in the JV. What was really impressive to me was the quality of the strokes. We are seeing girls at the end of the season. They are ready to do their rest. If you think it's loud in here now, you wait till after this next relay. It's an interesting situation that we have. Blaine has 88 points. Anoka has 83. That's a 5-point difference. The only way for Anoka to win is we have to get first and third. The amazing thing is that's a possibility. So I know that we, again, concentrate on what's going to be happening in the front of the pool. Anoka won this at their relay, won this event at the meet last Saturday. Blaine was not there.
The true team.
That true team. Blaine was there, pardon me. Okay? And so Anoka's got a really good shot at winning this thing. What we are going to be concentrating on is what's going to happen, not with second, but between third and fourth. The meet is going to be decided on who wins third, who gets third place.
And here we go. We're just about ready for the final event of the night. The 400-yard freestyle relay.
Welcome to team sports. I know we think of this as an individual sport, but the beauty of it is that we have 3 different relays. We have a multitude of different athletes of all different caliber. We've got divers who are going through a judgment situation, and it comes down to this last event, and this is why I miss it. I miss it like crazy.
Well, and you look at the seed times. Anoka, the clear advantage in 5. Right. 3:47.11. In 4, Blaine 3:57.33. But then the question becomes, as you pointed out, can the Tornadoes find a way to get in third?
Right.
In this dual meet here at Fred Moore. By the way, Steve Thompson, Scott Berkwood, our QCTV crew, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks to the coaches again. You know both coaches. And we want to thank them for all their help here tonight, all the spectators. Hopefully you're enjoying the meet here at home on QCTV, QCTV.org, or on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/QCTV. Tomorrow night, the Pumpkin Bowl game. Anoka and Wayzata next door at Goodrich Field. And we are just about ready to go.
I bet it's going to be 70 and sunny, isn't it?
Supposed to be another great day. I will say this for high school football. I've been around high school football most of my life. My dad was a coach way back in the day. This is the best weather start to finish for a high school football season I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's just been crazy. We had a little bumpy weather week 1, but it's going to be gorgeous at Goodrich. Always warm in the pool, though. And
nothing like losing a little weight through sweat at the swimming pool.
Well, it's great to be back here at Fred Moore.
You know, you talked about this old pool. When I showed up here in 1986, the walls were brown, orange, and yellow.
Well, that was in back then. that was the style. All right, here we go. Final event of the night. Buckle up. Who's going to win the meet? Bengals, Tornadoes. Who's going to win the event? Allie Deal, Abby Johnson, Nora Sloss, Sydney DeRung, the big favorites going into this 400-yard freestyle relay. And for the Tornadoes, they're in lane 5. Blaine in 4. Here we go. And we're underway for the Tornadoes in 5. Allie Deal, the senior. Can she give the Tornadoes a big advantage? Her first 25 looks good, Scott.
This is her event. She's going to have a very nice split. And what we need to do is keep watching what's happening over there in lane 3 and what's happening in lane 6.
Deal powers away. She'll make the turn for home in her final first leg. Blaine.
25-5 for her first split out.
Reese Penoyer over in 4 in second. Deal, the big lead. Over in lane 3 for the Tornadoes, Sarah Jensen. A chance to get to the wall in second, and does.
Beautiful.
Second leg in the pool for the Tornadoes in 5. Abby Johnson in lane 3. Emma Schmitz for Anoka. Alexis Edwards for Blaine in 4. That's the battle. They are head-to-head in 3 and 4. Tornadoes dominating up front.
Again, it's interesting that we're not concentrating on them right now. All of the athletes, all the parents in here now know what this situation is.
The battle for second and third. And right now it's Blaine in lane 3, Alexis Edwards trying to hang out against Emma Schmitz for Anoka in 3. They turn even.
Oh my goodness.
Final 25 of the second leg. Anoka way out in front in lane 5.
Safe starts, that's all they're doing. The lead team is just making super safe starts so they don't get disqualified or any chance.
Blaine barely in front for second. In the pool now. Sarah Wong for Anoka in 3. Ada German in lane 4. 25 into their swim. Tornadoes out front in 5, dominating with Nora Slaw. She has 50 to go in her swim. Blaine extends their lead for second. 50 to go.
Sometimes our third athlete is sometimes our weakest, or shall I say the slowest of the 4. It all depends on what the coach decides and the order in which you put your athletes in. They obviously put Allie up front for the fast relay.
Final 100 in the pool coming up in lane 5 for Anoka. That's DeRong at the front of the field.
Safe start.
Herman touches in the pool for Blaine. Reese Forrest, 100 to go. Now the Tornadoes in the pool. Reba Barris, can she run her down? Big lead for Blaine for second. Anoka solidly in third. At the front of the field, Anoka relay in lane 5, 50 to go. And that is Sydney DeRong. The Bengals solidly in second now with Forrest. The Tornadoes still have third over in lane 3. Barris. Tornadoes are going to win this relay, and that was established early. Tornadoes touch, they win at 3:54.02. Blaine will come in second in 4 minutes flat. The Tornadoes will finish third in 4:05.13, and that's going to get it done. They're going to pull out the victory. In the dual meet here tonight, Tornadoes dominate up front, though. Deal, Johnson, Sloth, DeRong, but Jensen, Schmitz, Wong, and Barris do their job.
You know, again, the emotions in this pool, I'm watching the athletes on the side for some reason. That is the beauty of an individual team sport, is that it took these guys and everyone on the side of the pool, and it was Blaine and it was Anoka. Everybody knew what was on the line, and that was impressive. That was impressive. Again, we kind of saw the leading team, they just shut it down. They knew they had to do safe starts. Coach told them exactly what they had to do. All those athletes are trying to win the section championships. The last thing they're concerned about, they've already done their job for the night.
Yeah, they got the points. They
won
the event. Yep.
They won the event. They'd also had their 3 other swims, okay? And it was all for watching our middle kids. And when they get to take ownership of that, that is the beauty of being part of a team.
And what a finish. Once again, Anoka wins it. Deal, Johnson, Sloth, and DeRong. But third, Jensen, Schmitz, Wong, and Barris get to the wall in third, and that should be enough to claim.
Is that the only one?
The dual meet here tonight. Hey, a big thanks to our crew back in the studios in Champlin. Big thanks to our camera operator on site, Scott Berklid, our expert analyst here tonight at Fred Moore. And it was fun to be back at Fred Moore. It's been a lot of years since I've been in this pool.
A lot of years for me. I've gotten to watch many meets from being a coach. I've been able to watch it as a dad. I got to be the head timer.
How about that? 1 point. 1 point. Anoka 93, Blaine 92. So it did come down to second and third as you predicted.
Hey, QCTV, good job picking this meet for televising.
It was a lot of fun.
An awful lot of fun. Thank you, Steve. It's been a real pleasure. Thanks to QCTV for supporting swimming. And we hope that we get an opportunity to be able to see some more events like this. I know there's so many events that is supported by QCTV, and as a dad, as a member of this community, as a former faculty member and coach, it is an absolute thrill. It is an absolute thrill to be able to watch these athletes work their butts off and then be able to reap the benefits of it and feel the unity of being a part of this community. And isn't that something that all of us want, to be part of a community? And that is the greatest thing of all. So thank you, QCTV, for your support.
Scott Berklid, once again, our QCTV crew here at Fred Moore and back in the studios in Champlin. And rumor is we're going to do it again We're going to be back at the pool for boys swimming and diving for sure this winter. It's a lot of fun. My name is Steve Thompson. Once again, right down to the final event of the night, the 400-yard freestyle relay. Anoka pulls out the win over Blaine, 93-92, and congrats to all the swimmers, JV and varsity, that had their best time in the pool here tonight. That's really good stuff, too. Have a good night.
Thank you.